Yeah. Yeah. Whole lot of promises, and I'm gonna keep them to myself, cause I swear there's a lot of them. Some of these niggas wanna see you fail, gotta say I'm proud of it.
Hey, how are you?
A few deals all by myself,
Good.
stacked a few bills all by myself. Had to get real about myself, see how
Thanks.
they felt. Yeah, don't need no help, I'm making moves, stay stacking up, I'm filling my shelf.
Started this video late today because today just really started off weird. You know how you have certain energies, right? And they're somewhat familiar, meaning like you have this feeling that you've had before in the past. And it's not always bad, but sometimes it can be. And it's just kind of like, okay, I know something's about to go down today type deal, right? That's how this morning started out for me. So I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I do my walk. And then from there, I wind up meditations, journaling, that sort of thing. And then I get to work right at 6 a.m. The thing about that, though, is this morning started off crazy because I couldn't find my actual walking shoes that I walk in, right? Which is stupid. I ended up finding them, but it was later in the morning, much later than it should have been if I wanted to stick to the schedule that I have. But the point is, I knew even prior to that when I woke up that something was just off for that morning, right? And that seems like the smallest thing, which kind of is. But then we get into work, right? We get into work, we're working, and apparently there's some type of security issue where they want the entire site to completely reset their passwords. Cool, no big deal, right? So I was waiting for it because it's just going to kick us out of everything. And then from there, we were supposed to reset the passwords. Waiting for that to happen. That happened. After that happened, I couldn't get back in. Apparently, it was saying something about you never configured reset. And it obviously, like a lot of companies, they use Microsoft. And I don't want to say I hate Microsoft. I can't stand all the extras when it comes to authentication. There's certain instances where it's asking me to authenticate twice for certain things, which is kind of stupid. And I just feel like it's very convoluted in order to actually get anything done. Just simple stuff you would think would be simple. And so apparently, yeah, I couldn't do the reset for my password because it was saying that I never set up the option to reset the password for that account, right? Which is stupid. So I sent it into the admin. They were able to get me a password, like a temporary password, but that didn't work because it took the system time to actually register it. And they were telling me that I was going to have to go into the building to actually get it fixed, which would have been annoying because where the building's located, it's like 2 hours away from me, right? And so that's annoying. But luckily, we were able to work around it and we got it fixed. But I didn't actually get to really do much at work until about 10:30, 11. And so most of my morning got taken up by that whole incident and just kind of threw off my entire routine for the day. But I did go to the gym and everything, got all that stuff done. But still, even then, I just kind of feel off. And I feel like it just kind of goes to show you that whenever you have like a set schedule or whenever your day gets thrown off, it's really easy for it to trickle down into other things. I think the key is you kind of have to find a way to fight out of that, which I didn't. I don't feel like I succumbed to it. I don't feel like is that the right way you say that? Succumb. Yeah, I don't feel like that happened. But I do feel like I was still just slightly off and I wasn't as productive today as I would have liked to be. But I'm not going to let that deter me for the whole week. So where we kind of left off last week, obviously I didn't finish that second verse for that song. So that's something that I need to work on as well this week. I do have some short form videos shot that I actually want to roll out. I need to work on rolling out, that is. So I need to kind of look into that piece. But all in all, I feel like I really just gotta work on, how do you say it? I just gotta lock in, right? I have to find a way to get back into the groove of things. That's the key right now. So we had a couple of things going on with the Mustang right now. One, I can't access it through the app. And two, this headlight, it's an RGB light. It's doing this crap. I don't think it's going to show up in the video well, but basically this part right here is like glitching out. I don't know, like the LEDs got damaged somehow or what. The problem is though, I contact the company I got the lights through and they don't want to respond. I've reached out to them for like the past few months and they haven't said anything. So that's annoying. But the big thing right now is this system, because I want to be able to access it through my phone. And apparently in order to do that, I have to update this thing. So I'm going to try. Apparently it's supposed to be like hella out of date. What the guy on the phone told me. Hopefully this is fast. Okay, that's stupid. It says the software is up to date, which is dumb. Because if that's true, then why does it say there's an update available for it? I gotta figure that out. I think I'm gonna make some adjustments to my strategy. Yes, again, because basically I have been kind of going through the motion and really thinking about what is it that makes me excited about what I'm doing. Primarily, some of the adjustments that I'm making are simple and small things when it comes to, for example, this lighting right now. Because I at first was running 6,500 Kelvin in this office. And the reason being is because I always felt like that was keeping me awake and keeping me active. Until I got to doing some digging and doing some more research on that. And I turns to find out that actually probably was putting more strain on me than I realized. And I've noticed I've been running this test for about 2 days now. And I've noticed that I have been a lot more alert because of the new lighting in here. Right now I'm running about 4,200 Kelvin. And that's supposed to resemble like midday-ish type deal. Not midday, I'm sorry. More so like like the afternoon. And it just, the lighting, my eyes aren't as strained and I don't feel as tired, which I wasn't tired with the 6,500 Kelvin, but I did notice that my eyes would get fatigued. And I think it's because obviously I look at monitors a lot throughout the day, so that's a factor. But that's not the biggest change I'm making. I talked about before how I really want to focus on being able to have a schedule, right? And the schedule has pretty much been me working 40 hours with my 9 to 5 and then having additional 30 hours that I'm applying towards music in general, just music in general, right? And with that, though, I feel like I need to start being a little more strict because, again, during the weeks, things don't always go the way I want it to. And because of that, time gets thrown off. But I need to make up that time somehow because I need to make sure that I'm putting in a solid 30 hours into music. A solid 30 hours, whether that be doing research for music or whatever the case may be, it needs to be there. So right now I'm working to kind of hold myself more accountable for that and also being able to balance other things because, for example, this is what just happened. So a couple weeks ago, I talked about my photography company. And with that, though, again, we have other people that are running it. So I don't really have to do a lot. I'm not working pretty much never. Well, yeah, I'm pretty much never working with that business besides just maintenance stuff with websites and just maybe time to time some client complaints, whatever the case may be there. Here recently, I just got hit up by one of the corporate clients that we worked with, and they have a project that they're working on right now. It's for a bottled water company that they're starting, and it's like a subdivision of their company, and they want me to personally be on the project. So with that, that means I now have to get back involved, but it's a little deeper. It's not just the project with well, it actually didn't even start out as a photography project, to be honest. It started out more of a project for software. They wanted a website and a very specific website, which would require some doing. But with that, though, also we kind of talked them into doing the photography aspect as well, or they requested for it and we just agreed. But their request was that I was personally the one that did it. So this is something else that's kind of got to get added into the mix because obviously I'm doing this for my company and I want to make sure that we have a good reputation. At the end of the day, again, music and stuff is still the priority. That's the priority. And I don't want to get too deep into the woods with doing this type of work again, unless, again, it's just absolutely necessary in this case, because I do have a good rapport with this client. So I'm willing to do this for them. Regardless, though, that's something that's going to kind of come into the fray at some point. So we'll see. However, right now, the way it's looking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish an additional song this week because remember, I'm still stuck on that second verse for the one song that we were supposed to write last week. I have not finished that verse yet. I just haven't had the time to get to it. I plan on getting to it probably tomorrow. And if I get to it tomorrow, I'll record that song tomorrow, work on the artwork tomorrow, and probably mix and master it Sunday at latest. We'll see. Again, we'll try to do everything in one day. But with all of that, though, that's probably gonna be the song that I'll be able to get done for this week because beyond all that, I still have to go do the photo, which we're gonna do that this afternoon. We're gonna go do the photo for Instagram this week. And so again, kind of mixed, but I think the key right now and kind of what I'm balancing is to be able to just ensure that I'm getting the work done that needs to be done. I'm doing my best to try and be on top of this stuff and to do whatever I can to make my music business even more successful than my photography business.
Yeah. Whole lot of promises, and I'm gonna keep them to myself, cause I swear there's a lot of them. Some of these niggas wanna see you fail, gotta say I'm proud of it. Made a few deals all by myself, stacked a few bills all by myself. Had to get real about myself, see how that felt. Yeah, don't need no help, I'm making.
Get a bunch of these. These are shrimp. God damn, it's hot.
Stay stacking up, I'm filling my shelf. Instead of sitting and wasting my time, I do what I love and building my wealth. It's sad to see people wasting their lives cause they didn't like the cards they were dealt. Just like Beyonce, I'm feeling myself. But they should be given their own ass the belt. Yeah, they need discipline, these niggas don't listen. Yeah, you can show them the plays, but they'll still lose position. Yeah, relying on phase, they continue missing. You can't ride this wave unless they build you different. Ignore direction, make them hard selections. These actions speak much louder than a first impression. Yeah, no second guessing, got no time for resting. Staying under pressure, this is how you make a legend. Ignore direction, make them hard selections. These actions speak.
So I haven't gotten started working yet. It's 10 a.m. and I went to go get my hair cut, but I haven't gotten started because when I was sitting in the chair at the barber, I started having this very intense mental dialogue within myself because there's something that I noticed about myself that I've never experienced before. And I'm trying. So whenever I see things with myself or see problems that I feel like they're problems, my first instinct, and probably this is not the best approach, is instead of thinking about, okay, how do I solve the problem right now? I think, where or when did this behavior start? I always try to get to the root of the behavior because for some reason I feel that maybe that's going to help me solve the problem. And it's different because when I was younger, I wouldn't even say when I was younger, literally just like not even 3 years ago, I would always go straight to the solution. I'd be like, okay, whatever it is, what is the solution to the problem? That's how it would work. But for some reason, I've always done this thing here recently where I try to diagnose where it started, like where the problem started. And the problem that I'm noticing is my lack of trust. So I'm very spiritual, and I believe that we do have spiritual guides. I believe that we get to decide what our life is, like how our life goes, and we can manifest the lives that we want. And with that, though, throughout my life, I've always stood by that, and it's worked for me all the time. Like I feel I've accomplished so many goals because of this aspect of thinking. And as well, too, I feel that I've been very good at being able to just be like, this is what I want to happen. This is what I'm going to work towards. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I just know it's going to happen, period, right? And that's just always been my mentality. But I've noticed here recently that although I don't say it out loud, I think that there is some type of fear or something going on. And what I mean is, there are moments I catch myself thinking about certain things. Like, it's like, okay, I don't know if I want to do this because what if X, Y, and Z happens and then this doesn't work out and then this puts me in this position that's negative, et cetera, et cetera. I go down this rabbit hole, which again, I don't know where this comes from because, like, for example, I used to do Turo with my cars, and I bought a car specifically for Turo. It was a Tesla. Worst decision ever. The reason it was the worst decision is because I bought it at the height of the market, and then obviously, the value just completely died because Elon Musk is an idiot. But the thing about it is, when I decided, I started Turo in 2022, and I decided, okay, I want to put this down. And I decided that last year, the end of last year, I decided I wanted to put it down. And when I did that, I was like, okay, I have to pay this note on this car. And the Turo income has been covering majority of the expenses. Well, no, all of the expenses, including, I was making money off of it too. But the thing was, it was just like, okay, if I do this, one, I'll no longer have that additional income. And two, I'll have to take on the note and the car insurance for this car. So that's extra expenses that I don't need. And so I was a little stressed out about it, but I was like, you know what? It's okay, because I have faith. I have faith that if I make this decision, my guides, they got me. I'm going to be fine. There's going to be somehow, some way, everything's going to work out absolutely perfectly fine. And it did. I mean, it did. I quit Turo. Everything went fine. You know, I actually ended up getting rid of the Tesla not that long ago, at the end of last year as well. And everything was good. Like, you know, there was no problem there. And I was like, okay, that's dope. So I was able to do that knowing that I was good. But here this year, for some reason, 2026, I don't know. I honestly cannot explain it, but it's like similar things could be done where it's like, okay, I could do this and I just know things are going to work out because I have faith. But I honestly can say that although I say that, there's still this feeling of doubt. And that's bugging me because I've never been like that. I've never been like that. So I'll tell you the story. It's interesting. So I was in junior college. And I was walking out of class, and there was this guy that came up to me. He was doing some type of paper because it was trying to defend religion, right? Trying to defend Christianity. And he was asking me just a bunch of stuff. And I was telling him about my beliefs. Hey, you know, I believe that we create our own realities. That's my belief. And so he walked with me the entire time to the parking lot to my car. And I get to my car, and this campus is generally packed out, right? So it's hard to park. So that's why I always chose morning classes, because it's always hard to park there. And basically, there was like a few spots open, like spaces open for people to park, but they were kind of spread out across the entire row. And he was like, so generally what you're saying is if you believe hard enough that a car would come and park right there in that parking spot, it would happen? I was like, yeah, it would happen, right? That's what I said to him. And then we talked for like another 2 to 3 minutes. It literally 2 to 3 minutes. And by the end of the conversation, he's like, oh, hey, look, a car parked right there. And I was like, exactly. Because the crazy part about it was literally a car went and parked in that exact spot. Again, there were several open spots, and it wasn't like this spot was the most convenient or anything like that. It actually was not. There was a spot that was closer to the buildings, but a car came and parked directly in that spot that he pointed out. And so I feel like that was some type of spiritual confirmation. I mean, obviously people, if you don't believe, you could probably say it's just a coincidence. But for me, I know that was confirmation that my ability to manifest had got so good that I was able to do that right then and there, just to prove a point. And again, unconsciously trying. And again, there's other things in life that I could kind of point to say this was easy. Well, I ain't gonna say easy, but this was something that I had practiced and I was confident in. And I'm still confident in it. But for some reason, again, there's that slight doubt. And I'm trying to break that because I know for a fact that it doesn't benefit me. It doesn't benefit me to have that. And it's just stupid little things that I keep coming up with in my head. And I say they're stupid because I'm hard on myself. I am really hard on myself because I know that I can be better. I know that I can be better. And I'm constantly striving to be better. I allow myself to feel how I feel in moments when I'm down. At the same time, I always do what I have to do to try to pick myself back up, though, because I know that I can be better. And that's just me personally. So it's just kind of a weird headspace I'm in right now. So I'm kind of taking some time to try to figure this out and figure out why. I feel that I do, though, need to move past the why is this happening and just more so focusing on, okay, what is the solution to solving this problem? Because that's one of the factors of it, too, is focus on what you want, not what you don't want. And so that's just kind of where I am right now. But I really do need to get to work. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to record this song. But before we do that, I need to set up this. So you recall literally over a month ago, actually, I bought this new SSL 12. This is the audio interface that I'm going to be using to kind of replace my SSL 2 MK2. And from what I understand, or from what I have looked into, it's better. The SSL 12 has better converters in it, apparently. It's supposed to sound a lot cleaner, that sort of thing. And the only reason I have not set it up yet, though, is because I was waiting because I wanted to be able to have time to actually kind of work with it a little bit before I actually got to working with it. But now that I'm about to go ahead and record this new song, I think it's time to go ahead and break this thing out because, I mean, why not? I literally have been sitting on it for over a month, and it's time to, let's just get into it, you know? So she's not done editing the podcast yet. However, we want to go ahead and get this going. I honestly feel like the MK2 was packaged a little better than this, in my opinion. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. These things are solid. I always like the build quality of SSL stuff. And a lot of people will ask questions like, why not the Apollo, like the Apollo Twin? And the Apollo is nice, but my thing is, I feel like I don't really need it for what it's for, because the Apollo is basically, don't get me wrong, the converters are really clean. Like, they sound good. They sound good. However, though, I feel like the Apollo is better for people who are trying, or people who need the processing power from it. So I personally don't feel like I need it, because the system that I have built here is very powerful already by itself, so I don't really see the necessity of it. I like this, but what's gonna bug me is the MK2 has a mix knob. This one does not. I don't know if it's gonna be a big difference or not, but we're gonna see. I always be afraid I'm gonna end up mixing up these channels. It's something I definitely don't want to do. Two and one and done.
Yeah. Whole lot of promises, and I'm gonna keep them to myself, cause I swear there's a lot of them. Some of these niggas wanna see you fail, gotta say I'm proud of it. Made a few deals all by myself, stacked a few bills all by myself. Had to get real about myself, see how that felt. Yeah, don't need no help, I'm making moves, stay stacking up, I'm filling my shelf. Instead of sitting and wasting my time, I do what I love and building my wealth. It's sad to see people wasting.
So we're wrapping up another week, and with this week, the things that we got done is we did get our carousel image done. I don't think I got any shorts done this week. Well, I have some that I posted, but I didn't get any new ones done. I did get the song recorded, but I didn't get it mixed and mastered. And I'm okay with that, though. And the reason being is because I think I want to try to change this up a little bit again. And the reason I want to change it up again is because I want to be able to do this in a way where I feel like I'm still having fun with it. Because again, although we are treating it like a business, this is still supposed to be fun, because obviously I'm subbing, or I'm aiming to sub out what I'm doing in software engineering with music. And so because of that, I need to be able to make it worth it for me, meaning it needs to be fun. And so I still want to try to hit one song a week. At the same time, though, I mainly want to just focus on everything as a whole, if that makes sense. I want it to be a scenario where I feel that my music career is progressing each week, not just, oh, I'm just making a bunch of songs. Because now at this point, once we mix and master this song that I just finished today recording, we're going to be moving into October's release. And so I think I'm getting my foundation down in regards to getting these songs done, but there's other pieces that have to come into the fray. We have the carousel photo thing that's going pretty well right now, but I still need to work on how I'm handling shorts. I think I want to kind of restructure how I'm also handling my vlogs as well, because I want to document them weekly, but I want it to be a documentation of the progress for this business and me growing as a recording artist. So I think I want to alter how I'm doing that as well. So that's some stuff that I'm kind of gonna plan out I am going to do what I normally do, sit down and make a list of all the things that I want to accomplish for next week, because next week's video, I'm going to try to roll out this new format that I have in mind in regards to how I'm going to approach my vlogs. And it's going to include heavily on this list of things that needs to get done. So that's the plan. As always, I do appreciate those who do watch these, because again, I think that this journey is going to be an interesting one, but it's going to be fun. Despite the fact that I have a strong level of confidence that I will be successful in music, I realize that along this journey, there's going to be a lot of lessons and there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be learned. And I think that being able to express and show those things is going to be huge for other people, but also for my future self to look back and see the progress that we've made. So again, I appreciate those who watch, and we'll see you next week.